All right, fine. Well, here we are, into December and a lot of Christmas stuff going around. Repetitive music everywhere you go, crowds of people, and of course, there's the Christmas specials. Today we're going to look at quite possibly the worst. No, not that one. This particular entry is actually worse and rarely makes it onto people's list. Made back in 1976 for the bicentennial celebration, this is Miss Velma's most incredibly magnificent Christmas week, or as it's more generally known, Miss Velma's Christmas in America. I'm Ollamh, and welcome to Geek Corner Reviews. We start off with a preview of what is to come and a lot of ego building for the title lady, Miss Velma.
Miss Velma, who is famous the world over for her beautiful dramas.
Maybe it's just a bit predictable, but of course it starts off with the national anthem, because nothing else would say Christmas enough. Then it's on to a list of what an American should be.
An American is one who believes in the right to vote, the right to work, the right to learn, the right to live.
Now, this is something that has always kind of irritated me. You see, America is actually a supercontinent, much the same way as Eurasia. It is normally subdivided into North and South America. It's not a country. That is the United States of America. So an acceptable answer, geographically speaking, to what is an American could be Peruvian, Brazilian, Mexican, Canadian, really just about any person from any country in the Western Hemisphere. Miss Velma talks about rights and expectations, which would not agree with a lot of political powers here in the U.S. It's also very interesting that she talks about how being an American supersedes religious belief.
The true American never asks, are you a Protestant or Catholic, Gentile or Jew, white or colored? But are you an American?
Though, even in the mid-70s, people still refuse to even mention the Muslim religion. And then we get another nationally focused song. With a cut, we see Miss Velma talking about a small Christmas tree which desires to grow large in time for Christmas. Don't worry, Miss Velma. I'm sure that even if it doesn't grow, Charlie Brown will make use of it. Apparently, Miss Velma is a witch because after focusing on the tree, it grew some 13 feet in the span of a few hours. Maybe a few days.
Little Pine was loved at last, had grown 17 feet tall to stand.
Then we're on to something very different. This is one of the stranger things. It has no cohesion, nothing to connect everything going on other than, and now for something completely different. We get another song, which is supposed to somehow represent California, which apparently requires changing the lyrics to something super patriotic, because why not?
Red bells, white bells, it's Christmas time in America.
And again, we're off to something different. What would a Christmas special be if they didn't talk about the Nativity? But forget the wise men, Joseph and Mary. We need to talk about the animals.
Even the animals at the manger in Bethlehem not only paid their respect to the Christ child there, but they were also representing all the animals in America, all of whom paid their respect to the great Creator.
Wait, do you think she realizes that Bethlehem isn't in the United States? Or is she saying these animals traveled over 6,000 miles, most of which is water, to visit Jesus?
I am the donkey. I said the donkey, shaggy and brown.
Wait a minute. Donkeys don't whistle. Neither are they frickin' red. Granted, they are colorblind, so he might not see that he's really red and not brown. I don't think they're up on their zoology because raccoons don't have rattles in their tails. That's snakes.
I am the raccoon.
With the addition of a cow and a bull, we fill out the roster of animals. And the lighting guy seems to be just as confused as we are.
I am the turtle.
Wait, when did we see a turtle? And this is probably the most irritating thing you're going to hear all day. We finish off with another rewritten song to shoehorn in a specific state. The text on screen promises that there's nothing else like it in the world today, which really is a Christmas miracle. Nobody else has plunged to these depths. We come back with a bit of cultural appropriation as Miss Velma puts on a Native American-inspired headdress and tells us how the Native Americans paid respect to the birth of Jesus by apparently shooting balloons and playing the hand organ. It's at this point we have to wonder about Miss Velma's sobriety. The way she's swaying makes it look like she's one of the drunk relatives that thinks they are the life of the party when really everyone wishes they would just sit down, pass out, and leave the rest with a little peace and quiet. And I'm nowhere near an expert on Native American culture, but I'm pretty sure their dances were more intricate than raising one hand and just spinning in a circle. Hey, remember the attempt to feature states through song? Well, it's time to see Miss Velma's youth singers focus on Hawaii. Now, you may notice that these youth singers are not what your average person would call youthful. One has a frickin' mustache and beard. I guess when you're 57, married to your first cousin, and head of a church trying to reach megachurch status, youth starts at 35 and goes up from there. Wait, that song ended. Why are we going back into it? Why won't you leave us alone? I mean, look, even the cameraman thought the song was over and moved on to showing the tree and had to cut back. On the plus side, I think Miss Velma died. Oh, wait. You can see the wires. Never mind. This is where we find out that Miss Velma really needs to be taught how to read a calendar. When you think of Christmas, there are a lot of things that come to mind. Mistletoe, lights, nativity scenes, snow. But I'm pretty sure you don't think about the resurrection of Jesus. Because that's a completely different fucking holiday.
Great stone to the door of the sepulchre and departed.
I'm not sure if there's supposed to be any dialogue here or not, but it sure seems like Miss Velma is completely spacing out with the sudden starting and stopping of the music.
And the graves are open, and many bodies of the saints which slept shall arise and come out of their graves after his resurrection.
Shit. I think Miss Velma just confirmed that Jesus sparked the start of a zombie outbreak.
He is not here.
Line?
Of the restoration of God Jew.
Did she just say the God Jew?
Of God Jew.
Maybe people could understand what you're saying if you cut the reverb from your audio. If you notice, they keep saying there's free parking and free admission on screen. This will become a great source of amusement in just a little bit. Now comes the much-awaited minibus scene. What it has to do with Christmas, I have no clue.
Before Christmas,
This starts off with a possible revamping of a famous tale, but that isn't right.
Not as quiet as a mouse. Then what do your wondering eyes should appear? But a miniature bus and 8 tiny reindeer.
Wait, what reindeer?
Miss Velma singers they came. I whistled and shouted and called them by name.
I'm pretty sure she's hallucinating now. This is the point that might feel most like Christmas to many of us. An elderly lady rambling on how Christianity is the answer and ties with everything about the United States. She even tries to tell us that the United States was founded on Christmas. Either that or Jesus was born on the 4th of July.
Christmas in America, built on God's traits, built on his birth, the United States.
Also, how does this mesh with her opening tirade about how an American of any religion is still a good American?
The true American never asks, are you a Protestant or Catholic, Gentile or Jew? Churches and schools, universities strong, owe allegiance to Christ, or they have gone wrong. They were beating their wives beneath the big tree, as big as a cow with a great big belly that shakes when they laugh like a bowl full of jelly.
Is she saying that Santa Claus is one of the people beating their wives under the tree? Is this where Kirk Cameron got his historical idea for St. Nicholas? Remember when I pointed out the free parking and admission? Take a look at the crowd as she drives off stage. That's right, not a single person to see anywhere. When you advertise free parking and free admission in LA and can't get a single person to show up, you've done something very, very wrong. But thanks to Trump mathematics, this is now the most popular and highly attended Christmas special in U.S. history. We end on everyone on stage singing, though only those close to Miss Velma manage to get any light, and Miss Velma listing, rather brokenly, all the states of the Union.
Christmas in America. God bless America. Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan.
And that was Miss Velma's most incredibly magnificent Christmas week. Originally, it was a week-long pageant in 1976. But if you notice, there's a copyright date of 1988, which is when it was cut down for videotape release. Now, I know a lot of people talk about the worst special being the Star Wars Christmas special, but I would disagree. That at least has an overall story. Sure, it's a lot of random things in it, but it's framed around a Wookiee household getting ready to celebrate Life Day. This has no framework whatsoever. It contradicts itself left and right, and can't even focus on just one holiday. They have to pull the story of Easter into the mix. As I said before, this was done by the church that Miss Velma headed with her husband and first cousin. The amount of expense that went into it feels like they were trying to attain megachurch status and donations. Whether you're religious about the holidays or not, this is an abysmal special. If you're a hardcore Christian, being told that you should shake hands with non-Christians because you're both Americans will probably annoy you. If you aren't, being told that if you don't follow Christ, then you are wrong, despite being an American, will probably piss you off. It really has something irritating for everyone. But maybe that's the secret meaning of Christmas. Nobody gets to be completely happy. What do you think about this special? Have you ever seen it before, or has this review given you nightmare fuel for the holiday season? Do you think that because it's a person's interpretation of what Christmas is and should be, that it is above criticism? Where would you rank it as far as bad Christmas specials? I would love to know your thoughts on this particular cringeworthy thing. So please, leave a comment down below, send us a tweet or a post on our Facebook page, and let us know your thoughts on Miss Velma's Christmas in America. As always, thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to prod the subscribe button down below so that you can stay tuned for more from Ollamh Productions.
If you want to see some crazy,
Cheerio!
so lazy, then you should meet me and my friends.
Did not make this. This is one of the weird parts of the game, is there's random stuff here. Now, if you will give me your cards, how much is it going to cost me? $200 plus tax. Then how can you put a price tag on love?